What's going on, YouTube? It's your hometown angler here. As winter begins to embrace its icy grip over the earth, I want to invite you guys on another pike fishing adventure. Here we go, 5 tips to hack your next pike fishing expedition. But guys, before we get started, make sure that you like this video so we can get this out to as many people as possible, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more ice fishing tips. Now let's head out to the depths and get started. Tip number 1 is location. I cannot stress the importance of location enough. If you don't know anywhere to go pike fishing, what you're going to be looking for is shallow bays off from river system. We're looking for shallow bays between 1 to 15 feet deep. A couple of rivers that you guys may have near you that are really good places to start might be the Wisconsin or Mississippi rivers. So once you've picked out a small shallow bay, next thing we need to look for is structure. And a lot of these bays around the Midwest, they were used for logging. So there's a lot of sunken timber down in the bottom. If you find topographic maps, a lot of people have been nice enough to mark these spots for you. If you can't find structure like that, then the next best thing is weed beds. Weed beds may actually be a little bit better than structure. In order to find weeds, what you're going to be looking for is emergent vegetation above the ice. So things like cattails and weeds like that. Once you find that, you're not going to be very far away from the submergent vegetation. Go to the cattails and then find your way about 10 to 15 feet out. Drill a hole and see how deep you are. You want to be looking for somewhere between 1 to 15 feet deep. The more shallow, the better. I've caught my biggest pike in about 1 to 4 feet of water. The next tip that I have is the right gear. Here I have one of the most iconic pine boards that has ever come out of Wisconsin, the Beaver Dam Tip-Up. All made in America. This is one of the coolest systems to use ice fishing. If you guys aren't familiar with it, let's go over it really quick. Got a flag system here. Basically, this part sits on a trigger. There's 2 settings. There's a heavy and a light setting. One's for panfish, one's for big game fish. It's got a spool down here. Once the fish takes the bait, it sets the flag like that. Really simple. There's a couple different types of tip-ups that I like to use. Also, you have your iFish Pro system. The cool advantage of this is that you actually get to use your rod, so you don't miss out on the experience of using your rod, but you don't got to spend all the time jigging over a hole in the middle of the winter. And you can get in the shack and crack a beer and start having a good time and wait for the tip-up to go up. So that's how I like to do it. Next tip that I have for you guys is timing. There's no doubt about it that some of your biggest pike get caught on early ice. It's my experience that as we get into later ice, the bites are less frequent and it's less likely you're going to catch a big pike. So, early ice is key. Another thing is pike are sight-seeing predators. They need daylight to see and they sleep at night. So, a lot of people make the mistake of fishing pike like walleyes at night. And you might catch a couple walleyes, which is great, but you're not going to catch pike. So make sure you guys are fishing in the daytime. One of the best strategies is to go out right before sunlight, wait until morning. A lot of times you'll have your limit before 9 a.m. The next tip that I want to talk about is using the right bait. What you guys are going to be looking for is large shiner minnows. Don't buy medium or small shiner minnows because a small fish will still bite on a big bait. The bigger and flashier that the minnow is, the higher chances of success that you guys are going to have. What you're going to want to do is set the bait somewhere between 12 to 18 inches off the bottom. But remember before when I talked about me catching some of my biggest pike in shallow water, sometimes less than a foot deep. In cases like that, what you're going to want to do is just go somewhere 4 to 6 inches off the bottom, as long as it's not resting or touching the bottom. The biggest tip for bait that I probably have for you guys is cost control. Guys, there's no reason to buy too much bait. If you got a couple of guys, just fill up 1 bucket. If you can get 6 shiner minnows, that's fine. Just ask for a half dozen. There's no reason to buy more than that. You can always get off the ice and go buy more bait. There's not a worse feeling in the world is when you get off the ice and you got to bring half your bait home and they either die in the garage or you're giving them to the guy that's going on the ice as you're coming on. So that's my biggest tip. Don't buy too much. The final tip that I have for you guys on your pike fishing adventure is the fight itself. Now, once you actually get the flag, you set the hook, now it's game time. This is one of the most prime time opportunities to make big mistakes. So we got to fight the fish properly. So what we're going to want to do is think about it like the drag on a reel. And you're going to want to use your thumb and index finger like this to allow the tip-up line to slip while keeping tension on it. Make sure it always has tension, because if you let it go slack, the hook will back out and you'll lose the fish that way. Keep enough tension on it to keep the fish pinned, and just allow the line to slip through your fingers and then pull it back. And then allow it to take just a couple runs like that, just like you would fighting a fish on a drag. Once you get the fish to the hole, you're going to have a lot more docile fish. Now, once it's at the hole, just bring the head right above the ice. Once you do that, put your fingers right underneath the gill plate and just pull it straight up like this. And there you go, guys. If you followed these tips, I'm confident that you're going to catch your personal best pike on the ice this year. And also, don't forget to use a pair of jaw spreaders. Just a tip from me to you, and also bring some forceps out there. So there you go, guys. 5 tips to hack your next pike fishing adventure. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to have some fishing coming up soon. Please like the video. Let's get this out there to as many people as possible, so as many people can catch their personal best pike on the ice, just like we're going to this year. And then subscribe to the channel as well, so you guys don't miss any more tips. Thanks.